What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Malazan server, and I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 minutes now, just going up and down, seeing what it looks like in third person. Looks pretty cool. And yeah, so I've been flying around. We're over here in a desert biome near, I think it's Return of the Max house, and we are planning on building a zombie pigmen farm, like a gold farm, primarily for the XP over the actual gold. The gold's going to definitely come in handy building powered rails, because the massive farm ideas that I've got in stock, there's a thing here. Do you reckon there's going to be a chest to show us where some hidden treasure is? Yeah, plans that I've got for major farms is they're going to need a lot of powered rail. I was hoping to be able to get some of them done fairly soon, but without the access to decent amounts of gold, then I won't be able to... Can we find any chests in here? Not by the looks of it. Yeah, without access to a decent amount of gold, we're not going to get very far with it. So my hopes and dreams is we can do both with a a gold farm, because the gold farm is probably the second best source of XP. Now, obviously, the Guardian farm is going to beat out the gold farm any day of the week, but that requires you to go back and forth into the Nether and only load the farm at 5 or 10 minutes at a time. And I much prefer the sort of XP farms where you can just leave your character for about 15-20 minutes, repair your tools quite easily, and it's just sort of like a sit there and forget about it sort of farm. Don't think we're going to have any luck finding a chest here. Not by the looks of it. Now I'm just tearing up half the ocean. Okay, so yeah, I'm building it over here. Let me go show you quickly what I was helping Mac do the other day. His base is literally only around about 2, maybe 300 blocks in this direction, and I was helping him sort out his villager, breeder and trading hall. And it's a good thing for me because, one, it means that I didn't have to worry about doing it all myself, and then 2, he's actually going sort of through the villagers and unlocking all of their trades, so then we can see what they've got, and he's actually got quite a few decent ones. So the villager breeder is just over there, and down here is the trading hall. The setup that we've sort of gone for here is the same setup that I've got in my single player world. So the minecart will pick up the villagers from back here in their holding pod, and then when one goes in the minecart, it will then go into the selection chamber, and then from there you can press the left button to make it go into the trading hall, right to be sent off over to a lava sort of drop chute to die, and then the middle one is called another minecart. And yeah, it looks pretty nice in here, and he's got a fair few decent ones. I know that there's a mending book for like 12. Yeah, 12, which is an excellent trade. He's also got an unbreaking free guide down there, which is awesome. And hopefully when the update comes out, it doesn't completely break trading, because I would really like to have access to them trades. But today we are going to actually hopefully just crack on and get this entire farm done. Now, obviously with the gold farms, they are pretty much infinitely expandable just to increase the rates. But I think there is obviously going to be a certain point that no matter how many more nether portals you had on, no more are actually going to spawn, because you are just going to start reaching your cap of mobs. But the quicker we sort of get them transported to the kill chamber, and we're going to have a shift in trident floor to actually kill them off, so we're not going to have to worry about the drop and taking them down to one hit too much, but it'll definitely be handy. So what I'm thinking is doing a run of 16 portals along here, and then just stack them on until I run out of obsidian, and then underneath we'll do the water tray, which can then take them up to a glass chute and then drop them down into a kill chamber. Probably I want to build the actual kill chamber within one of these mountains, so that way you've got somewhere secure to go. And the good thing now is that because we've got the technological advancements of shulker boxes, I've been able to get my redstone box, which I spent around about a good hour and a half gathering the resources, crafting and making all redstone components, so that way I've got them ready for any projects. We've got our tools. I could have swore that I heard a creeper sizzling somewhere near me, but apparently not. We've got our utils chest, so we've got all our bits and pieces like torches, so I'm going to have to light up this area a bit. And we've got different light sources, ice, glass, all the usual bits and pieces in there. We got our tools chest, and then we've got a bunch of obsidian, which is all happy days. So how much obsidian have we actually got? We've got 1, 2, nearly 2.5 shulker boxes full of obsidian, which is it's a decent start. It should get us at least, I think, 2, maybe 3 layers done of 16 portals. But yeah, I'm going to crack on and start getting this done, and I'll bring you back once all the portals are in place. Alright then guys, so welcome back. It's been a good maybe hour, maybe an hour and a half to get all the portals up. I had a break in between, played a little bit of Battlefield just to break up my day a bit, and then I got back to laying up the portals. I think we've got 3 lines of 16 and then another 8 on top, which is back to 48. Is that right? 48 and then 54 or 56. I think it's 56 full-size portals, which is a fairly decent start. Now, if I can try to figure out, I've actually done a water elevator, which I want the zombie pigmen to come up, to funnel down into a 1 wide tube drop, so then it's easier to control where they're dropping and how they're being killed. But I've mismeasured the tube here. So what I'm going to do is put an ice block here, and then we're going to need to get a wooden sign for the end, because otherwise it's just going to fall out and it's not going to be happy days. So we've got some signs here anyway, which is all happy days. Have we got any building blocks on us? We've got some sandstone. So let's hop back up and try our best to get up to there. So let's grab you. Build this up, and then we can do one of these guys. Oh, we're missing some glass here. And then we can whack a sign just down here to stop the water flowing down. Break you, and then hopefully that should then just flow along. All happy days there. And then we can break the rest of these going down for our elevator. Luckily they didn't melt because we are in a desert, so they do tend to melt sometimes, which would have been bad news because we need a solid block below for it to be activated. We need a couple of signs here as well. Soul Sand, why are you not activating? Is Soul Sand now broken? Interesting. Did I break the ice too quick for it to be activated or something? There we go. That was weird. I did have ice all the way down. Apparently the last block just didn't count for some reason. But that is now pushing us all the way up to here and over to here. and we can hop up and out. And then I've got just a basic standard little drop chamber which goes down into a little area that I've dug out. So if we just go through here, I've got an entrance from the other side obviously where we are going to be building a proper entrance. This is a nice big open space for us to work with. And then this is where they're going to be dropping down, and I still need to put in the whole killing mechanism, but I really just want to get up and running because my light chart is getting pretty damaged from all the flying about, and so are my tools which need repairing. So having them drop there ready to be killed will be actually advantageous. We've got spiders and all sorts up there at the moment now. And oh yeah, we do need to do these waterways first as well. So let's get the ice back on us, and just in case we run out of ice, we're going to just make an infinite water source here, just in case. And then grab our buckets, grab a couple of these guys, and have we got any more ice? We've got some there, and we've got a bunch of ice actually, so we should be alright for it. And then we want to go you, and you. There we go. And hopefully I've measured out all of these waterways correctly, otherwise it's going to be a pretty big mess. I should really turn around and check. Yeah, so it's all leading to that one wide valley in the middle. Now usually I would try my best to sort of filter out the baby zombie pigmen, but I'm okay with them dropping into the kill chamber as long as we've got half slabs there to stop the baby pigmen from getting out. The only thing I'm worried about is the chicken jockeys, because I've got a feeling that they might become a bit of a pain if we don't do something about them. So I could probably introduce some form of a lava blade, but the thing is that the lava blade won't kill the baby zombie pigmen. Why can I hear a skelly? I have no idea where that skelly is, but he sounds like he's pretty close. Where are you? I know we've got a fair few mobs spawning on the portals, and I do still need to put a load of half slabs along the top, so I'll more than likely do that out of sandstone because I've got absolutely tons of it sitting over in the chests. But it's getting to night time now, which is never a good thing. But that seems to be the majority of our waterways, and we just need to do the one in the middle. Now I've dug this out so that it should hopefully just flow all the way down to our elevator. Nice, just down to there. And then what we can do is hopefully speed this guy along, and we can just put some ice there. Do one like that and like that. Excellent. So now we just need to try to get out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on and get all of these portals slit, and we can do that in a bit of a time-lapse fashion. Alright then guys, so I've got all of the portals lit without an issue, apart from one skelly trying to shoot me off, and we are actually getting a constant stream of these guys coming in now. I don't know what would happen if we reached the mob caps with these guys. Would these guys actually just stop spawning altogether then? Because at the moment, yeah, we are also getting other mobs like wandering in, and spiders may be a little bit of an issue. But the main thing I was worried about is the zombie pigmen getting in each other's ways, getting into that middle valley. But that doesn't really seem to be too much of an issue. And they all seem to be going up the elevator perfectly fine. So as it stands at the moment, I think this is probably going to be the best source of XP that we can currently get on the server. Now I am also thinking, or I actually want to expand the nether portals up to build limit and then see what the rates are with that, and then if I'm still not completely happy with it, I may dig this down to bedrock and extend the portals down to there. But in between this cut and the next one, what I want to do is actually get the stuff done over here. So I want to get the shifting carpet with the trident on as our automatic killer, so that way we can just stand here, switch between our tools. I'm also going to have to go off and get some more food because that was my last piece of chicken and I don't want to start living off of rotten flesh. Also need to run a line of hoppers over to a collection system. I may put in an item sorter to sort out the nuggets, and then maybe, I'm not too sure if I want to keep the swords. Now I'm fairly sure that they don't drop the swords with the auto killer, so I'm quite thankful about that. But yeah, I'm just going to see what to do with that, whether or not we're going to be getting a lot of swords or not, and then have them go through to a sorter, so that way we can store the nuggets and the rotten flesh, because the rotten flesh can come in handy trading with... Wow, are they angry with me now? The rotten flesh can come in handy trading with the clerics, and also want to get a enchanting station and stuff down here as well. But I'm going to do all of that in between this cut and the next one, get as much of it done as I can, because all of it's going to be in an R-ing work where I'm trying to figure out stuff where everything goes and whatnot. So yeah, after I've got all of that bits and pieces done, I'll bring you back. Alright then guys, so it's now actually 4 or 5 days later after that last bit of recording. The Village and Pillage update dropped a couple of days ago. I wanted to get a little bit of recording done regarding the new content, so I've done an episode or two in my single player survival world. So if you've not checked that out, please feel free to. It's an ongoing series. I'm still playing in that world as well as this realm. I'm now running around like a lunatic, but as you can probably tell since that last clip, a lot has changed here. Now I'm going to run you through the changes in the actual farm itself that we ended up having to do. After I finished lighting all the portals, I ended up crashing the server. I think it was about 15 or 20 times, which is definitely not a good thing, especially for others, but luckily it was only me and one other guy who was actually on the server at the time of the crashes, and he's the one who actually collabed in helping me build this entire thing. Now the problem I was running into is the portals themselves were only one block apart from each other, so they were too close. So where the zombie pigmen were falling from the top portals, they were then dropping into the lower portals, and then after so many of them had built up in the portals, it sort of just had like a data dump error, where obviously it couldn't withstand any more information going into the portals without it being loaded from the other side, and it ended up causing a crash. So what we ended up having to do is removing every single other line of portals, so we had to mine up all of that obsidian again that I already placed down, and then after mining it all, I then stacked the portals on top. So this now actually goes up to, I think it's 235 on the Y level. So we've got just as many, if not more, because Mac, the one who's actually helped me with this entire thing, we ended up getting a little bit more obsidian and then building even more on top. We can still extend it by one more layer at the top before we end up having to extend it downwards. But the rates of it so far are pretty decent actually, and it doesn't take long to repair all of your tools. And we've got the auto killer with the tridents in at the moment. I also built a rail network going all the way to my base, which is like 2,500 blocks away. Yeah, so that was fun. Let's just quickly repair our shovel, but we're going to have to take off all of our men if it's loading. And that noise is just atrociously bad. It's so loud. Usually I end up having my TV on mute when playing, whenever I'm over here. So let's turn that off for a sec. We've repaired our shovel. I'll carry on killing them in a second, but you can't let too many of them build up without killing them off, because otherwise it does start getting framey, a little bit laggy. But then also we built a safety AFK room, just so if any mobs do spawn outside or spawn in the dark spots, because there appears to be some sort of spawning bug now in the Bedrock edition, where I think hostile mobs can spawn in like level 14 or lower, which means you're having to spam areas with torches. I'm not sure if that's with normal hostile mobs or if it's with just actual mob spawner mobs. I know for a fact it definitely happens. Oh, there's a creeper. Oh, we should really get our clothes on. I want to... I'm after gunpowder constantly because rockets is an absolute nightmare. Oh, and great. Well, never mind, I'm not getting that gunpowder. So, what we ended up doing out here is we've just done like a sugarcane field in order to get paper, in order to make books, because each time we come over here to sort of do an AFK session, we end up getting to like level 70 or 80 odd, and we just enchant a bunch of books. So we've got a bunch of chests here with all the different enchants on. As we get the enchanted books, we ended up just adding more chests. We've got an enchanting area, anvil, a nice little chest with a bunch of lapis in, just in case you forget it. We should actually have a ender chest over here. So what I'm going to do is grab one of my spares, and just in case one of us forget to bring it, we can put... Where should we put the ender chest? Let's just put the ender chest over there, just for symmetry's sake. Also got a bunch of furnaces. I started smelting up some smooth sandstone just to see if we could do a little bit more decoration in the area. Got a couple of the glowstone little pieces next to the doorway here. But other than that, I think that's pretty much this farm done. It's working an absolute treat. We've actually, I went ahead and put in a auto sorting storage system. So you get the swords whenever we do manually kill them over here. We've ended up getting a rabbit in there somehow or another. Yep. And then we're getting the rotten flesh. So I think Max actually come and cleared out all the rotten flesh to trade with the clerics. And then we're getting the nuggets and we're getting the ingots. I know that Matt's actually changing all of the nuggets into ingots whenever he does an AFK session, which is all good because it saves me the trouble of having to do that. It's always a nightmare having to do that anyway. But I think I did put a crafting table down there, yeah. So if you wanted to, you could sort of just break the chests and craft them all up depending on how much is full. But other than that, I think that's all of the changes here. Removing all of that obsidian and rebuilding the portals was an absolute nightmare, but with two of us it didn't take nearly as long as what it would have done if it was just me. But I'm quite happy with the way this farm's turned out, and the rates on it is much better than a standard mob spawner, and the gold that we're getting is definitely going to help us in future beacon making, because at the moment the iron farms aren't currently working, but the fix that I've got for it in my single player world is pretty much just replacing the doors with beds, and they seem to work again. And it also converts the farms into cat farms, which is a little bit weird, but yeah, it's a thing. But I wanted to show you one other thing before we end the episode off, and that is we had a boat building competition on the server, and there was a few contestants. Basically, you had to build a boat in creative mode, send pictures over to Discord. This was about 2 weeks ago, and then the winners got chosen, and then you had to build your boat at the pier on the spawn island, like the first, second and third places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for daytime. I'll take you over there to check out the boats. I've built my one. By the way, don't create an overly complicated boat in a creative world, which if you win you would have to build in a normal survival world. It was a major hassle. It's not so much the materials or the resource gathering for it, but it's the placing of the stairs and whatnot. It was just an absolute pain, but I'll explain all of that once we head over there. Alright then, so we're over here at the pier. The pier still needs a little bit of work, I think. So we've got a nice little stairwell that leads to the pathway which goes to the main spawn town. And we've got in here, which is the massive map room which everyone helped explore. But the boats that have been built so far, we've got a nice looking yacht, but I think that was Miss Panda. And when they first said to build a boat, you know what, these llamas are spawning everywhere because of the wandering traders, and they don't seem to be despawning at all. So I'm just going around killing them as and when I see them. Oh, we've got a creeper over it. Come on, give me that gunpowder. Thank you. So yeah, when they said to build a ship, whenever someone says build a ship in Minecraft, my mind automatically goes to like a pirate style galleon ship. And Miss Panda had a completely opposite idea, and she went for a very modern yacht style, which I really like. If I thought of building a modern boat, then I definitely would have. And oh, she's even got like the little bit where you jump off a diving and jet skiing. I forgot what it's called though. I do really like her design, which is a little bit annoying because I really wish that I'd thought of doing a modern boat. I've never tried. That's the thing. Whenever someone says build this in Minecraft, my mind never goes to let's build something modern. It automatically goes to like probably Tudor, medieval, fortress, castles, pirate ships, galleons. It never goes to, oh, you know what, let's build something modern like a skyscraper. Yeah, my mind doesn't work that way with Minecraft. It just automatically goes to the sort of block palette that you're mainly given, but with the added of concrete and everything, building modern builds now is actually a pretty good idea considering the block palette that you can get. But my boat is a olden style galleon, so we've got the captain's quarters on the back, and then we've got the gun ports on the sides, either side. We've got a nice little blue and white flag. And then, because I'm absolutely useless at doing sails, because it's in dock, I just done the sails up. And luckily I managed to win first place by I think 1 vote over Miss Panda. Which is lucky because it was extremely close actually. And then third place I don't think has actually built their ship. I think they designed a submarine. I'm not 100% sure if that was the third place winner or not. But that one I do believe is getting built over there on the left. So either on the far left or in between that one and that one. But I wanted to build it over here so then that way I could build it one away from the dock. So that way if it was actually in the dock, both of these sides would be right up against the edge of the actual ship. And it would have looked very, very sort of cramped. But yeah, I'm quite happy. Let me just give you a quick tour of the boat because I actually had to do some of the internal features as well. So we've got the captain's quarters, we've got a nice royal sort of regal red chair, a nice little desk, and then we've got some lanterns up about the place. We've got the, was it the crow's nest? Crow's nest? Crow's nest, it's the crow's nest. And then we've got a ladder that goes upstairs, the ladder also goes down below to the bottom deck. And we've got the new barrel storage boxes, which I think is excellent for this style of build. So we've got the cargo hold here, so when they want to load or take out cargo, then we've got the actual cargo here. And we've got the crew's bunks at the back. We've got a few little bunk beds over here, respawn point set. And then we've got the crew's eating quarters with the new, I want to say smoker, yeah. I want to say smoker, I actually read it before I said it because I always get confused between them and the blast furnace. I am meant to add some iron trapdoors as though they're stoves to actually be cooked on. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the way the boat came out. And the thing is that I built this in creative first of all to just enter into the competition. Oh, I'm missing some banisters that I've got to put here. Well, that's annoying. I'm going to have to go all the way back and get... Actually, we've got some spruce wood up there. I'll do that fix after I finish recording. So, yeah, I designed it all in creative, and then having to build it in here, it was a little bit of a nightmare because all of these stairs are done in a very particular way, and I still got to go around and waterlog all of these stairs that are underneath because at the moment you've got all the air gaps. So, what we're going to have to do is sort of come along and then do this just to get rid of that, which isn't too bad. Actually, I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult. Hopefully this isn't flooding the inside of the ship. I should really double check that. But I'm fairly sure the inside of the ship has the... whatchamacallit? It has an internal sort of buffer of solid blocks going around. Yeah, because I squared it all off so that way I could build the actual quarters for the crew and whatnot. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the way the ship turned out. Let me know what you think of it. I'm actually extremely jealous of the sort of modern style yachts because I never try to build modern builds in Minecraft for some reason. But yeah, I'm quite happy. It's a little bit of a mismatch with a modern yacht 2 docks away from a old style galleon, but it is what it is. It should make it look interesting at least for the docks. I may actually do a little bit of work on the docks, like all of this surrounding terrain here, but I'm going to clear it with the moderators of the realm before going ahead because this is obviously a public social area, should I say, that's usually maintained and built by the government. So I actually went ahead and I replaced all the jack-o'-lantern lightings with redstone lighting just because it looked a lot nicer next to my ship. It also looks a lot nicer and a lot more modern next to the yacht as well. and it actually makes the pier look a lot nicer. And they've just got the daylight sensors on top. Daylight sensors. There we go. That's the right word. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and next couple of episodes. The next one I'm probably going to be working on my base a bit because I've neglected working over there at all for the past 2 or 3 episodes. So yeah, definitely a must on that one. And we'll probably be getting into the village and pillage update on this server fairly soon, because I'm actually working out a couple of different little farms regarding the whole raiding system at the moment. So yeah, something to look forward to. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye bye.